Hey friends, Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. Hope that you're doing well. I have finally gotten my hands on the new Acqua di Gio Profondo, the other new Acqua di Gio Profondo, because I've already gotten my hands on this one, which is the rebottling, the reimagining of Acqua di Gio Profondo Eau de Parfum, which is now known as Acqua di Gio Profondo 2024. Not that one, but this one, Acqua di Gio Profondo Parfum. Yeah, look at those there. Ah, looking good. So this one I bought from jomashop.com. It cost me $130 for this size right here, a 100 ml bottle, which honestly, sign me up for that because it's gonna be more than that at retail, and it's not even available in the US at retail yet. So that's a win-win. I'm not sure exactly what the cost of this is going to be at retail, but if we take a look at some of the other Acqua di Gios where they're priced at, we can get kind of a decent idea. So Acqua di Gio Profondo old version, original version, I guess we'll call it, a 4.2 ounce size bottle is $160, which you can still find this in the US. It hasn't been like switched over to this one just yet. And then a 4.2 ounce of Acqua di Gio Parfum is $198 US. So you gotta think this is gonna be somewhere around there, right? Somewhere like 170 to 200-ish. Keeping in mind that it's not a 4.2 ounce size bottle anymore, it's a 3.3, so it went down in size, but still, it's gotta be more than 130. So yeah, Joma Shop crushed it there, and I'll have this linked in the description below. A fair warning, it's probably sold out. It was sold out a little bit after I bought my bottle, but maybe they'll get it back in stock sometime in the near future, so I'll leave that link down there. Let's just move these for now. I'll talk about those more in a second, I guess. Just the whole sizing thing. Oh, and one other thing in regard to Joma Shop, I noticed that they now ship to Canada. So if you're in Canada, Joma Shop now ships to you. I think they're also trying to set up international shipping to Europe as well. I have no clue when, but I think that they're trying to do like a whole worldwide thing. Let's go ahead and get started by taking a look at the presentation here. Then we'll start talking about the fragrance and how it is. So here we have the front of the box, a standard Acqua di Gio style. You have the name of the house, name of the fragrance, size, and concentration all right there. Again, 100 mils, the size of this. Little Armani logo up top, small QR code on the side of the box, bunch of information, including the ingredients on the back, and then on the bottom, your batch code. Batch code is 38XN01E. And here we have the bottle. It's very reminiscent to Acqua di Gio Profondo Lights in terms of the gradient, just the overall look here. It does look nice. I think it looks really classy, well done. You have the Armani logo on top of the cap. It is a magnetic cap, so that's nice. I feel like it's been a minute since we've had an Acqua di Gio with a magnetic cap, because even the Parfum version here, no magnets there. What's the deal with that? Just really feels kind of random as far as what Armani is doing with their bottles. I don't get it. Then on the bottom, you have a sticker with your badge code, and there is also the Armani logo on top of the atomizer. Let's go ahead and share a couple sprays here. Check it out, see how it is. Really solid. Now, before we start diving into all things Acqua di Gio and Acqua di Gio Profondo Parfum, I have to tell you guys right off the bat here, and a lot of you already know this, but I am an Acqua di Gio fanboy. I will wear that as a badge of honor. The original Acqua di Gio Eau de Toilette was my signature scent for years, and I cannot tell you how well that fragrance did for me back then. It basically just made it where for life, I was like, yeah, I've gotta have some Acqua di Gio going on in my rotation, and that still holds true today. I really loved Essenza when that one came out, Profumo, and especially Profondo. So with Profondo Parfum coming out, you could say a little bit hyped, because the original Profondo and also the new iteration of Profondo, I think smell fantastic. Just my absolute favorite. And that minerality, that added masculine touch that those have, that little bit of green, I think they just smell awesome. So yes, I'm letting you know right away, once again, I'm an Acqua di Gio fanboy. I'm about that, always have been. And since I touched on this a couple times, the whole bottles thing, it is a little funny, so I'll just bring it up really quickly. As I showed you, Profondo Parfum magnetic cap. and this comes in a 50 or 100 ml size. Then you have Acqua di Gio Parfum, but that comes in a 2.5 or 4.2 ounce size bottle, no magnetic cap. And then the old Acqua di Gio Profondo, before it changed, was also 75 or 100 ml, but when they changed it, they moved it to 50 or 100. This is just to say that there doesn't seem yet to be a consistent, we're gonna do it this way across the whole Acqua di Gio line when it comes to the bottling style. They're just kind of figuring it out as they go. All right, let's start talking Acqua di Gio Profondo. I'll pull this guy right here back out because I'll reference that one a little bit as we go along. This is the 2024 iteration of Profondo Eau de Parfum. First thing you'll notice when you spray on Acqua di Gio Profondo Parfum is that it's not quite as fresh as Acqua di Gio Profondo Eau de Parfum, which you would probably expect, but still it warrants mention. And I'm not saying it's devoid of freshness, it's just between the two, it is noticeably less fresh. Acqua di Gio Profondo Eau de Parfum has an almost fizzy feel to it. It has a nice, very fresh, uplifting sweetness from the citrus that's in there. And Profondo Parfum sits a little heavier on your skin. It doesn't have that like fizzy, playful nature to it that the Eau de Parfum has. Profondo Parfum comes across more green, and it has a heavier sweetness to it. Actually, almost comes across the sweeter of the two because of the way that sweetness comes across. So here, like I said, it's fizzier, it's livelier, it's a little bit playful, it comes across very zingy, and it has that minerality to it, that mineral touch that gives it that life. Whereas this one, the sweetness comes across almost like something green melted, and then you're smelling it and you're like, ooh, that's okay, that's something. There's more of a leafiness to the way the green comes across in Profondo Parfum also. So if you get a really close whiff of it, you can almost like taste a little bit of, just green leaves. And depending on how much you spray on and how close you catch a whiff, early on, Profondo Parfum can be even a touch musty. Still, it's got freshness to it, but it's, like I said before, a little heavier on the skin. Now, there is still an aquatic feel to Acqua di Gio Profondo Parfum, which makes sense. It is, after all, an Acqua di Gio. But you can tell really early on kind of what they've done here. They have, like I said, stripped out that minerality from Acqua di Gio Profondo, which gives it a lot of that effervescent feel with that citrus off the top. They've stripped that away. They've made it heavier, they have made it greener, and as typically happens with parfum flankers, they've made it a bit deeper, a little bit richer as well, just overall with the scent profile. But the way that sweetness hits, especially in the opening, I'm actually not really a big fan of. We can get into that more in a second, but let's talk dry down here. As it dries down, it gets a bit closer to how the Eau de Parfum smells in the dry down, only with less aromatics and more of a, again, like I said before, a leafy green feel, and without as much freshness because the Eau de Parfum maintains that freshness for quite a while, whereas here it fades a bit quicker. And this one sits a little heavier, a little closer to the skin as well as you hit that dry down. You could probably think of Acqua di Gio Profondo Parfum as a more evening-centric take on Acqua di Gio Profondo while still maintaining that daytime wearability. That seems to be kind of the idea, the thought process behind it. The question is whether that's a really good idea or not, the way that it's been put forth here. Let's talk real quick about the performance and everything, and then get into the nitty-gritty as to where this falls in the Acqua di Gio hierarchy for me. As with Acqua di Gio, typically, this is gonna be viewed as a spring, summertime fragrance. More of an evening-leaning summertime fragrance, though. It's not something I would wear middle of the day in summer when it's really hot out. And you could wear it easily during fall also. Performance-wise, this is gonna be one of those parfums that sits a little closer to the skin. Yeah, this is not really all that strong. Actually, between the two, the Eau de Parfum projects better for me. Now, this sticks on your skin for a while, so you get pretty good longevity out of it, but it's not really a heavy projector. Like I said a couple times talking about the scent itself, it feels a little heavy on my skin. So, you know, it sits a little closer, and when you smell it up close, it feels like it's just kind of, just weighed down there. Whereas this one feels very, again, lively, jumpy, zingy, like you can catch whiffs of it easily. This one you catch whiffs initially, but as you head through the mid, it starts to sit pretty close, at least in comparison to this one and actually some of the other Acqua di Gios as well that have come out over the past number of years. This one, projection-wise, not great. Now do keep in mind, I've only had this 4 days, so it's not like I've been wearing it all summer, and I can very confidently say, look guys, I've worn this for a month straight and it just doesn't project. But here over these last 4 days, I can tell you it sits closer than this. And like I said, a lot of the other Acqua di Gios that have come out. All right, moment of truth. Where does Acqua di Gio Profondo Parfum rank for me in the Acqua di Gio line? Well, I'll tell you straight up right off the top, I like both of these more. Whether we're talking the original Profondo or the new Profondo Eau de Parfum, both of these I think are better than this. And I'll tell you why. The opening of the original Acqua di Gio and the new Acqua di Gio Eau de Parfum, both are just more attention grabbing, more pleasing. I want to smell them every single time that I wear these. The opening of the Parfum sometimes smells like it's a little off. You know, I'll smell it and just be like, like I get the Acqua di Gio in there, but I don't know if that's what I want my Acqua di Gio to be. Just kind of one of those things when you think Acqua di Gio, even if we're talking Profumo or the Parfum, you want to be able to really pull that off in summer and have it smell great. This one, I feel like in the middle of summer, with the way that sweetness comes across and how green it comes across with that heavy kind of feel in the top, I just don't think I really want to smell that, you know? Now you could say, well, that's fine. Just wear it nighttime, evening time in summer, and wear it in spring and fall. And sure, you can do that. But at the same time, these just smell better to me in the opening, like just hands down more appealing. And I didn't know if that was just me. So I had a number of people smell this one. I was like, what do you think? You know, here's the opening, here's the dry down, here's some over here, some over here. Reactions were, I would say, mixed at best. Unimpressed, I think, is the best way to put that, how most people interpret this one. So yeah, the opening, not great. And as it dries down, yes, it gets closer to these Profundos over here, but I still think these smell better overall. Again, it's one of those deals with Acqua di Gio where if you strip away the minerality from this, the zinginess, you strip that away, you ramp up the green feel, but you keep it kind of deep, a little heavy, that deepness, and then you give it sweetness, but instead of an uplifting, inviting sweetness, it's just kind of like a bleh. Like, again, to me, it comes across like something melted that was very sugary sweet, and then you catch a whiff of it. You catch little bits of that in the background, that type of sweetness. And when you do, you just go, I don't know. That's mainly in the opening, to be fair. And as it dries down, it smells good. It's not something that smells bad in the dry down. It's just one of those things where you compare, you know, this to that. And again, from my own perspective, you go, well, the opening here is good. The mid is good. The dry down is good. Awesome. The opening here, not great. The mid a bit better. Dry down's pretty good because it smells kind of like this. Then you go, well, why would I pay more to get that then? Yeah, it's kind of, yeah. Oh, and also it projects worse. So where would I put this overall? Again, first impressions. You know, I could wear this through the rest of the spring and the summer, and maybe it just really opens up and I go, oh, dude, I was completely wrong. The more I wear this, the more I love it. And I will say that on day one, I liked this less than I do now. If I had done the first impressions on day one, it would have been harsher. So it's always possible, I guess, right? But as of right now, I would put this below Profondo Eau de Parfum. I would put it below Parfum. The Eau de Toilette's just kind of like an original masterpiece. Like, I'm not even gonna involve that in this, okay? And I don't know, maybe the Eau de Parfum I put like a little bit above Profondo Parfum. That's kind of where I'm at right now. Yeah, and Profumo, that one is above this, but Profumo, you know, replaced with Parfum. So that's pretty much where I'm at right now. Pretty disappointed, actually. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it makes sense. It's a parfum, and so, you know, the accepted thing with a parfum is make it a little more mature, a little deeper, a little richer, sometimes more subtle, because then it's like classier because it's not projecting as hard. A lot of brands will approach parfums like that. And that's pretty much what you've got going on here. But I'm just sticking with the original and the new version of Profondo. But I do wish these had magnetic caps. Yeah, I just randomly chose this one. Just put a magnetic cap on that one. So there we go. Acqua di Gio Profondo Parfum. Don't hate it, but I am disappointed. Thank you guys for hanging. Stay safe. See you tomorrow.